Let's take a quick look at some of the top coins sold by Stack's Bowers in November of 2025. Discovered nearly 50 years ago by legendary New Jersey copper specialist Richard August, found through sheer persistence in a New York coin shop, it was immediately recognized as something new, a previously unknown variety struck from two dies used nowhere else, and struck over an already twice struck Connecticut copper. Its first auction appearance marks the passing of a singular torch, ownership of a coin literally no one else has been able to claim, and a lasting piece of one collector's legacy. Today graded by PCGS as VG10, it sold in its auction's debut for $144,000. The 1908 Saint-Gaudens double eagle marks a turning point in American coinage, when artistry, politics, and public opinion all collided. After President Theodore Roosevelt's bold redesign ignited controversy, Congress stepped in to restore the national motto of "In God We Trust" to the design. But the mint responded with a new kind of proof finish unlike anything we've seen before that point. These sand-blasted proofs were never meant for circulation. With a mintage of just 101 coins, they represent the brief experimental chapter in the mint's history. This example is an NGC-graded Proof 67 coin that sold at auction for $204,000. The 1889 Carson City Morgan dollar coin is born of political reversals and near extinction. Just a few years earlier, the Carson City Mint appeared finished for good, its presses silenced, its bullion shipped east, its future written off by the press. Only a change in presidential power and a renewed push for silver brought the mint back from the brink in 1889. When coinage finally resumed, this dollar emerged late in the year, with only 350,000 coins struck. Very few remain today, and this stunning MS-64 deep mirror proof-like survivor is extraordinary. It sold for $210,000 at auction. The 1879 O Double Eagle is a coin born from silence. When the New Orleans Mint reopened after more than a decade of closure during the Civil War, its mission was clear: strike silver dollars. Yet, quietly and without explanation, a tiny run of gold double eagles was produced. Just 2,325 pieces. Most were swiftly exported and forgotten, leaving only a small handful of survivors. This stunning example, the sole finest known, is graded by NGC as MS-63, and at auction it was able to raise $264,000. Struck in 1796, this early $10 eagle comes from a moment when the young US Mint was still experimenting, adapting designs as new states joined the Union, and engravers refining their craft. It is the first eagle to reflect Tennessee's admission with 16 stars, and it carries a reverse born from trial and error, as mint officials debated on how the national emblem should appear. This coin is the Byron Reed specimen, graded by PCGS as MS-62. When it crossed the auction block, it managed to raise $264,000 in turn. Cast in the heat of the California gold rush and lost to the sea in one of America's greatest maritime disasters, this Henry Hench gold ingot is a frozen moment of 1857, intended for international banks and shipped aboard the SS Central America. It never reached its destination, instead settling 2 miles beneath the Atlantic Ocean after a hurricane sank the ship, weighing in at 67 troy ounces of 843 finest gold. It sold at auction for $288,000. The $4 gold Stella coins were never meant for the public. It was conceived and born in the halls of Congress. In 1879, lawmakers flirted briefly with the idea of an international gold coin that could move more seamlessly between America and Europe, and the Stella was their elegant experiment. Struck in tiny numbers and quickly handed to influential politicians, it became a pocket-sized symbol of ambition, diplomacy, and what might have been. The project ultimately failed, but the coin lives on, slipping into legend as one of the most intriguing near misses in the US's monetary history. Here we see an example of the flowing hair design graded by PCGS as Proof 67 Cameo that raised $288,000 at auction. Struck at the dawn of the Carson City Mint, the 1870 CC Double Eagle is one of the greatest frontier legends in American gold. Born in a dusty Nevada mint, better known for silver than $20 gold pieces, it entered circulation quietly, with no collectors waiting to save examples. Most were quickly spent, and spent hard, shipped overseas, or melted long before anyone realized how truly rare they are. Today, fewer than 70 coins are believed to have survived, none of which survive in mint state. This example is graded by PCGS as XF45 and sold at auction for $408,000. Struck in 1796, this draped bust quarter comes from the very first year the US Mint ever produced quarter dollars, and is the only year that this exact design was used. It was born from a moment when America's coinage was still very much an experiment, created only when private citizens deposited silver and asked the mint to turn them into money. More than a rarity, it is a witness to the fragile beginnings of America's monetary system. This exceptional coin is graded as MS65 by PCGS and achieved a closing price at auction of $480,000. Struck amid the chaos and ambition of Gold Rush, California, the 1855 Was Molitor & Company $20 coin with the large head of Liberty stands amongst the rarest private gold coins ever produced, minted by a pioneering assay firm stepping in when the federal mint faltered. It embodied both necessity and ingenuity on the frontier. This unique first reverse specimen, traced through legendary collections from Virgil Brand to Amon Carter, survives as a singular witness to private coinage at its boldest. Softly struck, yet richly colored, it carries the unmistakable character of California gold. Graded by PCGS as AU50, it achieved a closing price at auction of $504,000. Struck at the very dawn of America's gold coinage, the 1796 cap dust right quarter eagle with stars on the obverse is a quietly monumental rarity. Long since overshadowed by its better-known no stars counterpart, this issue is in fact the scarcer survivor with an estimated mintage of only 432 coins, and this example stands as the second finest known. The 16 stars marks a fleeting moment in national history, never repeated on later quarter eagles, preserved through generations, and anchored by legendary provenance, including the Henry Bass core collection. This coin is not merely a conditional rarity. It is a near peerless witness to the earliest experiments in American gold. Graded as PCGS MS63+, it sold for $576,000. Struck in 1794, the flowing hair silver dollar stands at the very foundation of America's monetary identity. Conceived as the nation's standard unit, it was the first silver dollar ever produced by the United States Mint that remains its most legendary early issue. Designed by engraver Robert Scott, its flowing hair liberty and understated eagle reflected a young nation finding its visual voice. Minted under difficult conditions with scarce bullion and imperfect equipment, each surviving example carries the marks of an experiment in nation building, rare, storied, and fiercely sought after. The 1794 flowing hair dollar is not just a coin, it is the birth certificate of America's monetary identity. This beautiful example, the famous Boyd Cardinal coin, is graded by PCGS as MS63 Plus and sold at auction for $4.5 million. Subscribe to WNN, and if you like this, then you might want to take a look at the coins from the $100 million Harry Bass collection next. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.